Here we go, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a hot minute. You know, we haven't streamed in well over a week here. It's been crazy. You know, I think you just get caught up in the craziness of the holidays, life, and sometimes you gotta move some stuff off the calendar. And going live with you guys got bumped. But we're back, okay?
Got me feeling icy.
Feeling nicey, folks. Feeling nicey. Have you checked out the so Gruden for Barstool Sports, they did a tryout for who was going to be a helper. So Gruden needed a helper for his show now that he's a part of Barstool, because I think he does most of it. He's done most of his stuff and he's not very good at it. So they're trying to hire some kid who's their local in Tampa Bay that can come down, run his cameras, kind of production of everything that they're doing there. So that way then Gruden can feel all nicey, right? And be able to do what he does best, make content. Love that guy. Love that guy. All right, folks. My name is Alex. I am the founder of Hostage Tape. We're talking all things mouth taping. We're talking about starting this company, this crazy thing called Hostage Tape. And I can tell that story of why I called it Hostage Tape. I know a lot of people see it and they can't believe it. They can't believe that I had the balls to create a company and call it Hostage Tape. It's pretty wild, right? So let's talk about the product. So this is our hero product, mouth tape, our black mouth tape. We've got our pink mouth tape for the ladies. All right. We've got our nose strips. You can see I've got my nose strip right here under my glasses. We've got our bedside storage tins. We've got our hostage nasal sticks, powered by the Boom Boom folks. And we've got our hostage hold wipes. Okay. So let's talk about the product. So this is our mouth tape. Now, here's how Hostage Tape is different. So when we designed this, we had, originally discovered mouth taping just using regular old medical tape, and it was painfully obvious that regular medical tape was really rigid. It was not very comfortable. It looks ridiculous, and it didn't work well with facial hair. But when I mouth taped for that first night, I couldn't believe how I felt when I woke up, and it was immediately obvious that my life had just changed. And I also knew as an entrepreneur that this was an opportunity to build something that I can inspire other men. I could change other people's lives. We just had to work on the product. We had to tweak it. We had to make the product better. We had to make a better mouth tape that people could use. And so when you look at this here, It's got a perforated line on the back. When I pull it, pop it, you'll notice that it is a flexible fabric. See that? It's a flexible fabric, see-through. You can even breathe through it. Okay. And so any sort of thoughts about it maybe not being safe. Now, for starters, breathing through your nose is safe. Absolutely should be breathing through your nose, not your mouth, number one. And your body wants to breathe through your nose. And secondly is the fact that this is see-through like that. It's breathable. If you had to absolutely breathe through it, you could. You could also just rip it off too. Okay. So somebody had a question about what if you know you have sleep apnea and if someone has an episode at night with choking and whatnot? Okay, well, so understanding sleep apnea, there's different levels. And to be clear, I'm not a doctor. Okay. But there's different levels of sleep apnea. And so if you have severe obstructive sleep apnea, that's where most people are overweight. They're severely overweight. And so then they have some sort of maybe weight that's pressing down on their airways. And so they have trouble breathing through their airways at night because the extra pressure is pushing down on it. But most average people, most average weight size people don't have severe obstructive sleep apnea. They might just have mild. And that could be induced just purely because you sleep with your mouth open. Right? And so the solution then might be just to simply shut your mouth. The snoring is actually a form of sleep apnea. But again, sleep apnea, understanding the thing about sleep apnea is that it's, again, if you're, there's so many things that sleep apnea can be. It's not just one simple thing. But if you're somebody who needs a CPAP, wear CPAP. And hostage tape actually helps the CPAP work better. Because when you wear a CPAP, you should be breathing through your nose and the air. If you have your mouth open, the air goes right in through your nose and then out your mouth. Somebody asked, should you work out with your nose tape? Absolutely. I always work out with my nose strips on. That way then I'm focusing on nasal breathing. When you work out, you should not be breathing through your mouth at all. The only time you ever should breathe through your mouth on a workout is if maybe you're doing some super hard strenuous sprints or something where you have to open your mouth. But for the most part, focus on keeping your mouth shut, and the nose strip helps open up the nose, the nasal passages, so then you can get better air in. Absolutely. I always wear this when I do a run. In fact, I just got back from the gym here earlier. I go to the gym, I do a sauna, I do a cold plunge, and then I either go for a run or do the weights, and I'm always wearing a nose strip. I'm sure everybody at the gym sees me enough to know, like, hey, that's a hostage tape guy, because they always see me with my stuff on. Yeah, absolutely. Try it out, man. Try out mouth tape is such an easy low-hanging fruit thing that you can try out. Doesn't have to be with hostage tape. It could be with any tapes just to start with, and then you can graduate into doing hostage tape for the rest of your life, probably. Most people who are older, like myself, middle-aged, once you start mouth taping, you probably do mouth taping for a long time, considerable future. Because the reality is that your mouth isn't, when you're older, it's usually not going to stop dropping open. So you're always going to need some sort of assistance to keep it shut when you sleep. Because when you get unconscious. Somebody asked, how long would it take to improve your jaw structure? Yeah. Let me answer that question here after so again, we've got our mouth tape. It's flexible. It's a fabric here. We'll put it on. Okay. I'm going to curl my lips in. Notice how when I put it on too, I'm going to rub it in to make sure the adhesive sticks. See that? That's a mistake that people will make when they put mouth tape on is you gotta rub it in little bit there. Make sure it sticks. Okay. And again, we designed it to be a flexible fabric so that it works really well with facial hair. Because when you have facial hair, you've got stubble. A rigid paper tape doesn't always fit and form over all those bumps and ridges really well. And the flexible fabric of the hostage tape does that really, really well. All right, so let's answer the question. Somebody asked, how long would it take to improve your jaw structure? The reality is that if you're an adult, mouth taping isn't going to really improve your jaw structure. Okay, that's kind of a myth that a lot of people try to take advantage of when they talk about mouth taping. Now, it 100% will improve your jaw structure if you're a child, because when you're a child and you're growing, your skull is still forming. It's still changing. It's still adapting. Once you get past your 20s, somewhere in your 20s, your jaw it's done growing. So the likelihood of mouth taping actually changing your jaw structure just isn't real. What you're actually seeing is just proper tongue and jaw placement. So for example, I'll show you here on camera. If I have my mouth open and my tongue is not on the roof of my mouth and I let it hang, notice how my jaw looks. Okay. Now, if I shut my mouth and I put the tongue on the roof of my mouth, now notice how much better it looks like I've got a jawline. You see the difference there? So it's more of an illusion than it's actually changing the shape of your face, okay, as an adult. Now, it can absolutely, if you're a parent, you've got a kid who's mouth breathing at night, you want to nip that one in the bud right away. It's perfectly safe to be mouth taping, with your kid if you feel comfortable with it. Because again, we all should be breathing through our nose. But with a kid, if they develop the habit of breathing through their mouth, then their face, just Google some of the pictures of it out there of kids who grew up being mouth breathers versus not. And the shape of their face completely changes, elongates, and it creates breathing issues and teeth issues the rest of their lives. And so you want to nip that one in the bud, and that can absolutely change it. But for adults, it's not really going to change your face, not going to change your jaw. Now, what it could do, it could reduce inflammation. It could reduce swelling. Because when you're mouth breathing, you're essentially in a fight or flight state where your body is stressed. And so you could have some stress and some inflammation going on in your face there from mouth breathing. So then when you keep your mouth shut and you're properly putting the tongue on the roof of your mouth and breathing through your nose, you're getting nitric oxide release. Then your body's relaxed. You're not as anxious. And then as a result, you're in a much better state. You're not in this fight or flight state. So that could change how your face looks, but not this dramatic jaw transformation that you've seen some people try to take advantage of. That is just not true in adults. Okay. All right, now, our pink tape. All right, so somebody just asked, how does nose breathing increase nitric oxide? So it's a great question. So when you breathe through your nose and the air goes through your sinuses, that triggers the release of nitric oxide release. And nitric oxide is a vasodilator. And what that means is it opens up the blood vessels in our body and encourages better blood flow. Okay? And then when you have that, you've got better blood flow, right? You're getting more oxygenation, more oxygen uptake throughout your body, right? And then your body isn't in this fight or flight mode. You feel way less anxious. Okay? Now, here's the pink. This is our women's hostage tape. I'm going to put this on. Everybody always loves it when I put on the pink tape. And again, notice how I just pull a poppet. And it is a flexible, it's made of bamboo silk for the ladies, a flexible fabric. It's breathable. And again, what makes this different than other tapes out there that you see is the fact that it's made of a flexible fabric. We knew that it had to be strong yet comfortable enough to be able to keep your mouth shut, but also not feel so restrictive and so uncomfortable that you just couldn't stand having this on your face. Okay? And now, ladies don't need it for facial hair, but for the men, works really great for facial hair. Now, women, when you're putting this on, you definitely want to make sure you don't have an excess amount of moisturizers and things on your face, around your lips when you put this on that might interfere with the adhesive. Okay? Notice how when I put it on, I'm going to rub it in. Just like that. Notice how when I had it on, I was able to move my face. Right? Move it and it feels comfortable. Once you get used to wearing hostage tape, again, it's very common for people to feel very uncomfortable putting it on for the first time. It's very normal. Having your mouth covered almost elicits this fight or flight response, right? So just getting used to that, having your mouth covered, is a first step. And then once you're used to that, it's very soothing. It's almost like swaddling. You get used to mouth taping, and it feels very comforting to have your mouth taped, especially with hostage tape. And then you forget it's even there. All right, somebody asked. No, I wouldn't say, somebody asked, do all mouth tapes have the same benefits? Or do we got to use hostage tape? Well, not all mouth tape is created equal. That's for sure. And I would tell you that hostage tape, we're the biggest mouth tape brand in the world. Okay. And when you buy in to hostage tape, you're buying into the biggest brand in the world. You're buying into real people here. We're here. You're seeing me on camera. I'm the founder of the company. And so you know that we're here to support you. We're here to help you. We're there for you versus, yeah, there's been some brands who pop up on TikTok or on Amazon who you have no idea who they are. They just, I mean, people look at the success of hostage tape and they try to copy it. But the reality is there could be just some kid in his basement trying to make a bunch of money and the product that he sourced is crap. And then what if you don't get it and you don't get your money back or there's no support? A whole bunch of problems, you know? So there's all sorts of differences in the different types of tape out there, for sure. I can't speak about all of them. Everybody has different variations on what they're trying to do. I mean, with the success of what we've done, and I think with how much we spend on marketing and how much we're out there and how well known we've gotten. I mean, we're really the de facto mouth tape brand now that a lot of people try to copy us. So, but we're the biggest brand in the world, and we're a brand that you can trust. We're here. We're here for you guys. Now, the next product I'll demonstrate is the nose strip. Okay, that is this guy right here. Somebody said using hostage tape is the best. I use it on my wife before bed and she stops talking so I can rest. That's right. You go to bed and you say, here, honey, put your mouth tape on. And then it shuts her mouth. Right? All right. So this is our nose strip. And a lot of people will look at a nose strip and think, it looks like you just got a piece of tape on your nose. What does that do? Because that's what I thought. I didn't realize what was actually in a nose strip. I didn't realize what it was. So there's actually plastic ribs in here that give it flex. See that? So when you put this on your nose, it opens up and it widens your nasal passageways, thereby allowing you to take in more air. when people put this on, they usually are immediately, whoa, they feel like they can breathe like a whole new person in seconds. There's a lot of people, they've grown up with having maybe not the greatest airflow through their nose. And so putting this bad boy on can make a huge difference. And it almost makes you realize how you're supposed to breathe through your nose. Especially when we're doing a workout, going on a run, even sitting here at my desk when I work, having my nose strip on reinforces that I should be breathing through my nose and keeping my mouth shut. Okay, somebody asked, what about the nasal sticks? Great segue. So our nasal sticks here, these are the Hostage nasal sticks. And we partnered with Boom Boom on these. These guys have been going viral all over TikTok. And what this is it's an all-natural blend of menthol, mint, spearmint. Take that right in your nose, opens you right up. Whew, these are really addicting. You can take a whiff of this right before you go to bed, helps open that up, as well as maybe just throughout the day. But super addicting. People love these things. Keep it in your pocket. Take it with you wherever you go. Somebody asked, I live off it. Yeah. A lot of people love these Hostage nasal sticks. Somebody asked, the moment that I walk in the door from work, I pop on another strip because it's just how you have your glasses right now. Mine on my nose, and I can feel it restricting airflow. Oh, yeah. I look kind of goofy. I feel like a nerd. I don't usually like to wear my glasses when I'm on camera and I'm wearing nose strips because I feel like I'm right out of the movie Revenge of the Nerds. I feel like I'm, part of Lambda Lambda Lambda. But yes, if you live in the area here, you'll see me out and about. I'm quite frequently always out, always wearing a nose strip, and I think people have just gotten so normalized to it now that it just is what it is. Somebody asked, are you guys going to make skin tone tapes? No, we are not going to make a wide range of colored tapes. We're very bullish and bought into the brand that is Hostage Tape, which is our black hero tape for men, and there's a lot of women who like the black too. And then we've got our pink for the ladies. So no plans on coming out with flesh colored or different colors. Now there will be a few scenarios and a few situations where we do come out with different colors, but those will be announced at a later date. Okay. Now we've also got our bedside tin. Now there's too many people out there that I don't think realize we have these tins, because the best way to experience Hostage Tape is by having a tin. You get your tape, you get your monthly or your quarterly, or you buy your bulk of 6 month supply or however you buy it, and you get your pouches like this. Very soon you're going to see us in the store. We're coming to the retail store near you. Okay. And you'll actually get it in a box when you get it in the retail store. But when you pull it out, then you can use your tin. And then the tin, it's very similar, like an Altoids tin, right? You can keep it in there. And it's great because it can sit by your bedside. I'll go to bed at night and I'll go into the bathroom. I'll do my teeth, wash my face, do my nighttime routine. And then I go get into bed, and then I've got a sleep monitor that I wear. I put that on, and I turn on the recording to record the session. And then I grab a strip from my tin, and then I put it on my mouth and I go to bed. So a super easy, great way to have it right at your ready, right next to you. This also makes it really easy to take with you. You can put it in your bathroom bag when you travel. So if you're a guy that travels a lot for work, or maybe you want to use this when you're at the gym, especially like if you've got, nose strips too, you can put nose strips in here as well. And then always take it with you. Or maybe you want to put it in your car. You've got a tin that's sitting in your car. So many different places you can keep it at the ready for you wherever you go. All right, so somebody asked, does nose breathing help with morning erections? So that's a great question. So the theory is that it absolutely does. And it all goes back to nitric oxide production. So what nitric oxide production does, remember, it's a vasodilator. It gets the blood moving. And when you take, the like Viagra pills, like all the ED pills that they have, they all do the same thing. They increase and allow the ability for nitric oxide to work, and then thus increase blood flow down there. So absolutely can help there. Yeah, great. Yeah, somebody just said they use one as a bedside kit and another tin for a to-go kit. Love it. Yeah, love it. All right, so now the other thing that we have here that I'll show you, this is one of our newest products, is we've got these hostage hold wipes. Okay. And so we developed these, they're individual wipes. We developed these because look, when you're putting adhesive tapes on your nose and on your face, there's a lot of different skin types out there. Some people have really greasy skin. Some people have really dry skin. Some people live in a humid climate. Some people live in a dry climate. All sorts of variables can affect how an adhesive, like a tape, might stick, especially on your nose. So what the wipe does is it helps clean the skin, but then it also adds a thin layer to it so the adhesive can stick better. It's very similar to what like nurses will use in hospitals when they're dressing wounds with bandages. Again, it just helps clean, and then it helps the adhesive stick better on the skin. And this doesn't have any alcohol in it. So there you have it, folks. That's all of our core products. All right, somebody asks, so if I do it for a whole month straight, would my sleep be better than what it is? If you mouth tape for a whole month and you were a mouth breather, then yes, you would absolutely be way better. And because the key there is mouth breathing. If you're a mouth breather at night, you absolutely should not be mouth breathing. So if you're mouth taping, you're 100% going to be better. If you don't mouth breathe at night, then you may not need to mouth tape, but maybe wearing a nose strip would be helpful for you if you feel like putting a nose strip on helps you breathe through your nose better. Absolutely. Here, I'll show this. We're a Shopify vendor, and whenever you hit certain thresholds in Shopify, they send you different awards. And this was over a year ago. This was our 100,000 threshold that we'd hit. Now we're a year past that, so we're 3 to 4 times that now. But and we're coming up on the million. Like Shopify gives out an award for 1 million orders, and so we're coming up on the 1 million order here pretty soon. But pretty cool. We're used by over 100,000. I think at this point we've got almost 150,000 people that use us every night. And we've sold well over 400,000 users, 400,000 people have bought mouth tape from us. So here, I'm gonna tell the story. So we're working on some new ads, new stories here, and I'm gonna tell this story. This is a version of the story that I'm working on here that I want to tell. And so this is the story of how I started my business. Now, after my wife and I slept in separate bedrooms for years because I snored like a chainsaw, and as a 40-year-old guy, I went my whole life with a snoring problem, and I didn't think there was anything I could do about it. And so I had put on a bunch of weight. I didn't have a lot of energy during the day, and I would fall asleep on the couch every night. Now, after my wife moved into the guest bedroom, this went on for years, and our relationship drifted apart. And so I started looking into how I could improve my sleep. Now, I researched all sorts of products that didn't work until I discovered mouth taping from a best-selling book called Breath by James Nestor. And then I went online, I ordered some regular medical tape, and I tried mouth taping for the first time. Now, I was scared at first, wondering what would happen if my nose clogged up. And the tape was super uncomfortable. It didn't work very well with my facial hair, but I still gave it a go. And when I woke up the next day, I couldn't believe the amount of energy that I felt. And I realized in that moment that my life had changed forever. And then I got to work building a better mouth tape company that would inspire other men like me. Now, I was that real life example of how we're being held hostage by poor sleep and we don't even know what to do. And so Hostage Tape was born. Okay, Hostage Tape was born. So don't let bad sleep hold you hostage anymore. Now, over the next 6 months, I went through all sorts of different types of tape, adhesives, so I could get it just right. In fact, this is the very first version that we came up with and that we made. Now, what makes Hostage Tape different is the fact that it's made of a flexible fabric that's comfortable to wear, it's strong enough to hold, and it works really well with facial hair and mustaches and beard. And it's also black, so it looks really badass, right? Now, lots of people thought I was crazy. I mean, starting a mouth tape company and calling it Hostage Tape, I mean, what was I thinking? Right? But I kept going, and the orders kept coming in, and the reviews followed. And soon, everyone started to take notice, like Joe Rogan, the UFC, and organizations all over the world. And so now, 3 years later, since we started, we've helped over hundreds of thousands of people get life-changing sleep from Hostage Tape. Now we are the number one mouth tape brand in the world, folks. Okay, we're the largest mouth tape brand in the world. We're the number one brand on Walmart, the number one brand on Amazon. Just keep in mind on Amazon, mouth tape's actually banned. And so because we're the biggest brand, we keep getting kicked off, and then we keep having to relist it. But mouth tape is banned. And so if you go on Amazon and you don't see it, just know that we'll be back. But you could just go to hostagetape.com and you can get your tape there. And very soon you'll be able to get it in store. We'll be in the store here. We're coming to a store near you very soon, folks. And, you know, when you think about, again, Hostage Tape, mouth tape, what is it doing exactly? It's like really the three biggest things that people always talk about is, number one, it's going to stop snoring. If it doesn't stop it, it severely reduces it. If you're mouth breathing, it's beard friendly. It works really well with facial hair. And lastly, it's going to give you life-changing sleep. I can't tell you the amount of people, including myself, who, when you mouth tape for the first time, you wake up the next day and you can't believe it. You can't believe how you feel and how simple mouth taping is and how transformational it is for you. Now, some of the people who use hostage tape that you may have heard about, got a really nice list of people. We've got Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's been a user of us for a long time. We've been a sponsor of his pod as well. Erling Haaland, probably the greatest soccer player in the world. We've got Mark Consuelos from Live with Kelly and Mark. Andy Elliott, the greatest sales trainer on the planet. Got Troy Aikman. In fact, if you guys are watching Monday Night Football tonight, Troy Aikman is sporting hostage tape every night. We've got Chris Bumstead, arguably one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. Gary Brecka is sporting hostage tape every night. And he'll always recommend it too. He works with a lot of people. And anytime he finds somebody who's not sleeping well and his mouth breathing, he'll recommend hostage tape to them. We've got Mark Bell. He's a legend in the powerlifting world. In fact, he's one of the first guys that we seeded product to who responded back and said, this is the best mouth tape he's ever used. And then since then, he's helped us get into the minds and the mouths of tons of high-level health coaches, influencers, just people all over the web. Now, we've got a ton of comedians that use hostage tape. We've got Tom Segura. We've got Bert Kreischer, the Machine. We've got Pete Holmes. Love Pete Holmes. Such a funny guy. My wife and I saw Pete for the first time in person. He was here in Minneapolis like a month ago. And I was able to meet Pete and see him backstage. Such a great guy. Such a sweet guy. Go see his Christmas movie. His Christmas movie is really good. It's funny when you see Pete and you realize he's a comedian and he's friggin' hilarious. The Christmas movie that he's in he's not really this comedian. He just plays more of a dad in the movie. So he's not quite the funny comedian Pete that we all know. But it's a great movie. Like the last half of the movie is really, really good. Really good. Sebastian Maniscalco. Now, this dude, so I'd always dreamed that someday some comedian, somebody would do a funny bit about hostage tape. And Sebastian fulfilled my dream because he does a bit about hostage tape and he's on tour right now across North America, these huge stadium tours, and he does a hostage tape bit and he wears hostage tape every night. So I can't wait. He's going to be here in Minnesota in February. So I can't wait to see him in person and see this bit and get a picture with him. It's going to be great. Now, Kyle from the Nelk Boys, those guys are down in Australia right now. And the whole Happy Dead team is sporting hostage tape. Now, we were mentioned on the biggest reality show on TV, Netflix, Love is Blind. And then we got a ton of NFL teams. One of my favorites is Sam Hubbard. He's the defensive end for the Bengals. I like to call him one of my generals in the hostage tape army. You can see him every Sunday. He's sporting a hostage nose strip, and he's sleeping with hostage tape every night. And then we've got a ton of other teams who are sporting hostage tape too, like the 49ers. We've got the Vikings. We've got the Chargers, the Broncos, the Ravens. We've got the Falcons. In fact, the Falcons were just in town here playing the Vikings. Both of them have both their locker rooms. We sent them all hostage tape. And the Vikings came out on top, even with the homecoming of Kirk Cousins. I know Kirk Cousins was our quarterback for quite a long time there. But I don't think Minnesota misses him. I think Minnesotans are pretty happy with Sam Darnold and the job that he's doing and where we're at right now. So things are looking pretty good. We just got to be able to get by Detroit. All right, so somebody asked, how long does it actually take to get the benefits from using the tape? So everybody's a little bit different, but if you're mouth breathing at night, you will immediately get the benefits of using hostage tape. Okay? Now, you may or may not feel it right away. Some people feel it immediately. Like the first night that I mouth taped, I immediately felt the benefits of mouth taping because I'd been a mouth breather my whole life. And so it was obvious for me. There's some people who it may not be obvious the first night. It might take a few days, 5-7 days to truly feel the difference in energy and oxygen that you have, that you're building up in your body. Okay? But if you're a mouth breather at night, it's going to be pretty obvious for most of you, for sure. All right, folks, again, my name is Alex. I am the founder of Hostage Tape. We are the largest mouth tape brand in the world, folks. We've got over 150,000 people that use hostage tape every night. We're the official sleep aid of the UFC. We're partnered with the largest ENT clinic in California, the LA Center for ENT. We're the number one mouth tape in the world, the number one mouth tape on Walmart, number one on Amazon, even though mouth taping is banned on Amazon, by the way. Now, let's talk about why I call it hostage tape. Because people think that's wild. People can't believe I had the balls to call it hostage tape, of all things. But, you know, many times in life, you got to take a risk. You got to take a gamble. And going in with the name hostage tape was a big gamble, was a big risk. But I knew that in this day and age, attention was the currency. That was everything. We were going to market this all over Facebook and Instagram and social media, that if it was going to stand out, we were going to get people's attention and we were going to inspire people. It had to stand out. People had to see it and notice it. And we had to inspire some kind of a conversation around it. And I used to tell my kids back when I was mouth taping that when they would come in the room, I said, look, if you busted in the bedroom and you see me, I'm going to warn you. It's going to look like I'm being held hostage, so don't freak out, okay? It's just mouth tape because it looks wild. Looks crazy if you've ever seen it. And so you kind of look like a hostage. That was the obvious. But on the flip side of it, we realized that we were tapping into this core emotion people felt. People feel held hostage by poor sleep with their partner and they don't know what to do. So don't let bad sleep hold you hostage anymore. That became this core message that people can relate to. Because think about how there's 128 million households in the U.S. and over 71% of them are mouth breathing at night. And the sheer volumes of people who are experiencing what they call a sleep divorce, where the husband usually is snoring so bad, like a chainsaw, like I was, that the wife can't get any sleep. She's resentful. She feels like shit. And he feels like shit too, but he doesn't know what to do. And she doesn't know what to do. And maybe she moves into the guest bedroom. And you laugh about it and you think it's funny and you think, well, yeah, like just go sleep in a separate bedroom. But that's not really a good thing. There's an intimacy to being in the same bed with each other. And So when that happens, I mean, just the amount of people that are going through this that maybe don't talk about it, that can relate to that, it's pretty mind-blowing. And it can be as simple as just taping your mouth shut. And everybody can try it. Again, you don't have to start with hostage tape. Now, you can start. Yeah, somebody just said this shit works. You know it works. Amen, brother. The thing about it is you don't have to start with hostage tape. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to work that well if you try some other kind of tape. And then you can graduate into having a subscription with hostage tape or just buying in bulk from us. But it's such a low-hanging fruit to try it out and to see if it makes a difference for you. Because I can tell you, we're partnered with the largest ear, nose, and throat clinic in California. And what they tell us is that, look, going in and getting surgery should be one of the last resort things because it's really painful. Quite often it doesn't work, especially as it relates to snoring. And it's really expensive and it's usually not covered by insurance. And so one of the best things you can try is try mouth taping. Try it. And a lot of times those people will go to the ENT, they'll get surgery, and they'll still tell them to wear hostage tape afterwards to ensure that they're nose breathing and not mouth breathing at night. All right, so somebody said, I started out with the Walgreens nose strips and would always fall off, and now I wear hostage tape every night. All right, so you're a nose stripper. Okay, love it. Yeah, man. There's plenty of nose strips out there. We're not the first that came up with the nose strip concept, but when I discovered the nose strip and I realized how much it helped my nose and the synergy that it had together with the mouth tape, I just knew that, okay, we're going to make our nose strip better. We're going to make it stronger. It's going to have a stronger adhesive. And most importantly, it's going to look badass. It's not going to look like you're wearing a friggin' Band-Aid on your nose. Because so many people that wear these, they wear these for half the day. They might wear them at night when they sleep, and or they're going to the gym and wearing it. They're wearing it. I wear it in the sauna. I wear it in the cold plunge. I wear it in the gym when I work out. And then I wear it when I go on a run every day. I don't know what I would do without it. Bo Nickel, what's up, buddy? I see Bo. Everybody give a shout out to Bo Nickel. Bo, tell us, when's your next fight coming, brother? Bo Nickel, UFC fighter. Big time. Love it. Bo, when's your next fight coming, brother? Got to tell us. Drop it in the chat, Bo. Let us know when we can check you out on your next fight. So somebody then said, I wear mouth tape and a nose strip every night. Love it. Awesome. I do wear my nose strip in the gym. Yeah. And that's common. There's a lot of people who they'll wear their mouth strip and their mouth tape and their nose strip at night and then wear the nose strip at the gym. I don't always wear a nose strip at night, which is kind of funny when you think about it. The founder of the company. I don't feel like I need to wear a nose strip at night when I sleep. Some people do. For me, it's 100%. I got to wear mouth tape at night for sure. That's a given. But I don't feel like I always need to wear a nose strip. Like maybe if I'm sick or congested, then I will. But when I work out, I go to the gym, I do a run, I am 100% wearing nose strip. Absolutely. All right, looks like Bo. We didn't get Bo's answer. Bo Nickel was just on. Love watching Bo when he fights. Bo wears hostage tape at night when he sleeps. You gotta think about it when for a lot of these fighters, these NFL guys that use our product, when you're at that level, many times what separates those guys is just a few percent. Right? So being mindful of a few things that you can do to level yourself up and gives you an edge can mean everything, can mean success or failure. Because that level, the level that Bo's at with the UFC, the level that guys like Sam Hubbard and these guys are at the NFL, everybody at that level is the best. And so how do you separate yourself? How do you differentiate? And sometimes it's the little things that can add up over time, like mouth taping at night. I would argue that mouth taping at night and getting great sleep is a huge level up that a lot of athletes and a lot of guys aren't thinking more about. I think too many guys take for granted their sleep and aren't getting as good enough sleep as they should be, and they're not focused enough on it. And they should be. They should be way more focused on how to get their optimal sleep. And too many of them, especially some of the bigger guys, they're not keeping their mouth shut and breathing through their nose when they sleep at night. So, absolutely. All right, folks. Well, again, my name is Alex. I am the founder of Hostage Tape. Appreciate your time. We're going to call it a day. And we will be back tomorrow. We tend to go live every day around noonish Central Time. Try to go live around that time. So we will see you tomorrow, folks. Drop in, check us out. Don't let bad sleep hold you hostage.